Okay, so we're going to go through the driveway civil cells in GDOT's civil cell library. Currently there's a couple of tapered. I've got a tapered, urban tapered with a sidewalk you see here, and then an urban tapered without a sidewalk. We've got just an urban, we have a rural, and then we've got another urban with a variable radius. And this would be used for more like widening projects where this is not centerline controlled. It's more or less you're controlling your edge of drive here, really where you tie into like islands. All right, so we're going to start off with this drive urban tapered with sidewalk. We'll place it and then go through the horizontal and vertical edits there. As far as the prompts, the curved flow line, and quite honestly, I've already drawn it, the drive center line, so I actually just went up and used from element, biangle from element, and placed a line 90 degrees from the alignment there. Right, so that I had to build that particular reference. All right, so curved flow line, back top of curve, and then drive center line. You know, it says placed from edge of pavement, but I mean, I've got it placed from the alignment. That's fine. It's just got to be at least 20 feet minimum length. Okay, so that geometry looks good, and you can kind of see the direction of arrows there, so left to right and away. All right, so I'm going to reset, and I'm going to go ahead and clip this corridor here, reset, and accept that cell. So come in and kind of look at this geometry here, and then we'll go through horizontal edits next. Okay, so as the width control is right here, 7 feet, 14-foot drive initially. I think that's a minimum for this type driveway. There's also I'm not going to change that. There's also a 1 foot that can be added to there that controls that little offset there. Alright, then I'm going to turn off construction class, and we'll look at this element, or this area right in here, your curve transition area. So to get to that, right click, grab that element there, which that is main EOPH, what it is, but basically from your edge, from this edge here, so 7 feet from the center line to that edge, and you got 3 feet that you have no curve, and then you start that, basically that 3 foot points where you start that taper transition, and then it transitions for 4 feet initially. If you need to change that, you can grab that right there. All right, so that's kind of how that looks, and that taper's controlled. Okay, so a few more horizontal controls are really these 4 elements, the purple lines here that are basically paralleling your your edge of pavement or your curb and gutter. So this first one, there's one here, there's one here, a little bit hidden there. Those are all horizontal controls, but they're also vertical controls. So when we first look at this, the first one here, the names, maybe I may ought to rename this Geom CC3. That's really, I think, controls the location of your construction joint there. But obviously you can move it in or out as needed right there. But if you'll notice, go down and look at the profile here, is positive 2%. That's actually coming off of the back top of the curve. So positive 2. So you basically come in here and control your slope there as well. And really what you need to do is just match that, whatever slope you've got on that buffer and that sidewalk and all that. That's all we're doing. 2% off of that, right? That's not what your drive's being drawn, right? Your drive's being drawn from that curved flow line elevation up to that 2% projected line there. All right, then if we'll look at the next element, and this does have a name that should mean a little bit, align with back of sidewalk. So, really what you would do is just change that offset value there to align it with your back of sidewalk. It's aligned in this particular case, so I don't have to make that change. But if we'll also look at the elevation or the profile, 2%. Right? And then we'll look at this next element, back of sidewalk shift right here. And I will actually change this, but that's really that little shift outside of that behind your curb and gutter there. And I'm going to actually change that to -4. And that one's also 2% off that back top curve. Actually, it's 2. This element's actually 2% off that. That element's 2% off of that. And then that one's 2% off the back top curve. All right. And so the last one here, and it's called back tie. All right. You don't see a profile on this one here. So, and really, what we'll do, we'll just come in and open this element here. I'm going to open a profile view of this. And you kind of see what we're looking at as far as a profile here. So that point there is that back of ramp tie there. So basically what you can do is you can just scoot this in or out and then make it tie wherever you want to. Right. I mean, right now it's tying 8 feet, and you can see where it's tying. And obviously you can select this, and you can see that's that slope's like 19%. So the rollover would be about 21%, right? 2%, then down 19. So a little too steep, right? So we're going to make a change to that. But before we do that, also notice that this, these 2% slopes right there, and that's to that construction joint, and then I believe back to this element back here. All right. So what we'll do next, like I said, we'll go and make a change to this. I'm going to just jump this out to like -20. And we'll see, if you'll watch your profile view here, you'll see that profile view change. All right, and that grade actually looks pretty good to me. So I think that's what we'll stick with there as far as where we want to tie that. Okay, so that kind of covers the horizontal and vertical edits. So what I'm going to actually do next is we're going to go to corridors, and we're going to close these gaps up right here. So I'm going to go to define target aliasing, and we'll choose this corridor. And then I'm going to just come in and choose the mainline corridor. I could choose the X terrain also, but my drive's not getting outside of my proposed corridor model, so I'll just stick with the corridor model there, hit apply. We should see that gap there close. And then I need to come in and do the same thing on this side here. So select the corridor, add the main line, hit apply. And close here. And as far as templates, we do have 2 separate terrain models here. We've got one here, which I'd consider the apron, and then one beyond that. So if you needed different types of material there, you got the ability to switch those out. The only linears are these right here, which are pretty straightforward. It's just the cut slope or fill slope there. All right, so that kind of covers that tapered with sidewalk drive.